Praise be to Jesus. We thank God for His goodness. What is your understanding of full-time ministry? Now, in the book of Genesis, chapter 1, verse 26 to 28, God gave man his image and likeness. It is like saying, God, who is spirit, wanted to be seen. So He created man to represent Him where the spirit cannot be. So He put Himself into us so that we represent Him. Now, that's just by the way. Look at 2 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 18. Now all things are of God, who has reconciled us to Himself through Jesus Christ, and has given us the ministry of reconciliation. Now, this word is not for a pastor. Paul was writing to the church of Corinth. So this word was written to believers. So all of us are called because we have been called to represent Him, and we have been called, and He has given us the ministry of reconciliation. Verse 9 says, that is, that God was in Christ, reconciling the world to Himself, not imputing their trespasses to them, and has committed to us the word of reconciliation. Verse 20. Now then, we are ambassadors for Christ, as though God were pleading through us. That's what I just said in Genesis 1, 26 to 28. He says, now we are ambassadors for Christ, as though God was pleading through us. We implore you on Christ's behalf, be reconciled to God. So every believer is called into ministry. Pastors are called into offices, but every believer is called for this work of reconciliation. So what is full-time ministry? Now, we need to redefine it, because for us, many people think full-time ministry is when you leave, you stop, you cease doing secular work to focus fully on preaching the gospel. Now, if that is the case, look at Exodus chapter 25, verse 21. Exodus chapter 31, verse 1, 2. Then the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, see, I have called by name Bezalel, the son of Uri, the son of Hur, of the tribe of Judah, and I have filled him with the Spirit of God, in wisdom, in understanding, in knowledge, and in all manner of workmanship, to design artistic works, to work in gold, in silver, in bronze, in cutting jewels for setting, in carving wood, to work in all manner of workmanship. Verse 6. And I indeed I have appointed with him Oholiab, the son of Ahisamach, of the tribe of Dan, and I have put wisdom in the heart of all the gifted artisans, that they may make all that I have commanded them. If the pastor says, I'm stopping work, craftsmanship, because I am going to full-time ministry, what will Aholiab and Bezalel, who have been called into workmanship, into craftsmanship, what would they say? So, full-time ministry is not when you see secular work and you go and preach the gospel. Full-time ministry is when you represent God wherever you are, because we have all been called. So we don't have a problem when you leave secular work in order to focus on ministry. We don't have a problem when you want to do reconciliation, when you want to focus on evangelism. But know that if you are not an evangelist, you are still called. So every believer is into full-time ministry. That is why the church in the book of Acts, they said We cannot be serving tables. We need to appoint people to serve tables so we can focus on the ministry of the word. What did they do? They appointed Stephen, a man full of the Spirit, to serve food. Whatever you are doing, you are into full-time ministry. If you understand this, you represent God well wherever you are. So ministry is wherever you are. This is Pastor Edamado, and God bless you.